me, Christine, again. Back in my room, as I should be. Back in the basement, back to unpacking. IRL. Can I just get a quick audio check? Everything sound okay? Because, you know, we're back on this little doohickey thingy. And you just never know. You unplug something, you plug it back in. Doesn't always work the next time. I don't know why. Sounds good? Okay, perfect. Go to your room. I am in my room. You go to your room, Ben. And I will take your computer from you. All right, welcome. Happy Sunday. Normally it's Saturday, so I have to remind you that it's Sunday today, which means tomorrow is Monday. I know, yeah. Normally it's like, I ask you like, oh, what are you doing this weekend? Or hope you have a good rest of the weekend. Well, now it's almost over, so I can't really say that. But yeah, welcome on in. I was not here yesterday, Saturday, for my normal stream time, but I'm here today. And we're gonna continue unpacking for the rest of our lives, because that's what happens when you move, and also when you have 3,000 bottles of nail polish. So we're gonna keep going. Today is the day of our Lord and Savior Holo. Yes, thank you, mods, for reminding me. Welcome to the mods. Welcome to the Menchie gang. Welcome to the cats, to the dogs, to all your nail polish bottles. I hope they're watching. They're probably a little jealous. Are your collections jealous? Are you hate watching? Sometimes I wonder, you know? Do people hate watch me? How do I get in on that? So yeah, how are you? Where were you yesterday? Eyeballs? I mean, I told you at a concert. Yeah. I know it looks like I'm tired. I mean, I am tired, but I also still have my eye, you know, autoimmune issues flaring that were happening pre-concert, so I'm not blaming the concert. Didn't wear any makeup, can't blame makeup, just gotta blame me. Just my existence, just existing causes my skin to say, no, stop. So that's what that is. And I did wear a red shirt to match my eyes. I just thought, like, you know how I love matching things, like my nails to like my hoodie and, you know, whatever, my earrings? Yeah, so I'm matching my eyes today. I just thought it was a good fit. Are your eyes recovering from Avril? No, it has nothing to do with Avril Lavigne. She didn't curse me. I just have demons inside of me. It's really not the makeup. It just, autoimmune issues just decide they just want to punch you in the face sometimes, and then like you did nothing wrong. It's just how it goes. That's just what happens. You just get triggered by existing. So that's all. So yeah, we can all just do our best, just try and exist. So welcome on in. Today we are existing and producing. No, that's the wrong word. We're being productive. Productivity, existence. Why not? You know, if I'm just gonna sit here, might as well do something with it. So I'm gonna unpack, because this room, one day there will be a floor that I would like to see again. Menchie! Oh, I don't know if my little baby mic picked up your little meow. Menchie, come see your people. Oh, hi. Menchie, I missed you because mommy was away all weekend. Oh, daddy didn't pick your eye crusties. Don't worry. I will. Here you go, monkey girl. Hi. I missed her so much. Meow. Can you hear her purring? Menchie, I love her. Yeah. I was away for the weekend, the second weekend in a row. Never going anywhere again. No. No, I had to go to my grandmother's 95th birthday party, and for some reason we decided to do a little getaway. So we drove 5.5 hours, just my sister and I, little sister road trip, all the way out to a place called Collingwood, which is like a little cute town that has like a waterfront. It's on like a big lake in Ontario, but it's 5.5 hours away from Ottawa. and no other families in Ottawa. It's just me and my sister. So we drove really fucking far to get there. And because it was way too much driving to do in one day, have dinner, and then drive home, we actually went up a night early so that we didn't have to drive 10 hours in 24 hours. But because my sister and I went up early, we went to the spa the next day. So we had a 9 a.m. massage the next day. And that was very nice. We went to a Scandinavian spa in Norway. No, in Collingwood area. Maybe some of you are familiar, I don't know. But it was very nice, very relaxing. The weather was beautiful. Didn't get a sunburn, you know. It was great, Menchie. You should have been there. You would have loved it. There was a cold plunge, meaning we jumped in a cold pool. You would not like that, though. She would not like that. She wouldn't even like the hot tub, no. So we did the whole like Nordic thermal cycle. Don't know, Menchie. We did the whole Nordic thermal cycle. I don't know if you guys have heard of doing this, but they say like, okay, you go in a sauna for 15 minutes, and it's hard because their saunas make you fucking drip, like dripping in sweat. And then you have to go in the cold plunge, which means a really cold pool. Like so cold, it feels like an ice bath, but there's not actually ice. And you do that for like a minute. And then you're like, ah, but you can't scream because there's the silent police. Like literally there's men wearing the word silence on their backs walking around. So every time you see them, you're just like, oh my God, I'm sorry. Did I breathe too loud? Oh my God. The silent police were there when I jumped in the cold plunge. And I was like, I can't scream. They're gonna arrest me. So after the cold plunge, then you go into the hot tub, basically, like the hot pool. And all of that Nordic therapy is supposed to heal you. I don't know. It's supposed to be really good for like your muscles and shit, you know? And honestly, after 3 cycles, like we repeated that cycle 3 times with breaks, you know, lunch and just lounging around in between. And by the 3rd cycle, I actually wanted to stay in the cold plunge. Like it retrained my brain, I think, or my skin sensitivity, I don't know. But I was like, oh, I kind of really like it in here. I just like, it feels good. My legs are numb in a good way. Here, let's do a poll. The silent police, there's literally men walking around the spa who just have the word silence on their backs, like as if they're bouncers, as a visual reminder for you to shut the fuck up. I thought it was kind of funny. I've never seen that before just at a spa. I mean, there's signs usually that are just like, please be quiet for our guests to enjoy, blah, blah, blah. But no, there was silence police. Okay, have you been to a spa? I feel like that's too generic. Have you done the Nordic spa cycle? Which means like, I'll just put hot, cold. I don't know. I feel like different Nordic interpretations probably have like a different order or however different long. But some spas are just like classic spas and some spas are more like Nordic inspired spas. It's like a thing that I've noticed in some Canadian places that they really lean into the Nordic experience. So anyone from Norway or Scandinavia, we really like your way of life, apparently. We just want to jump in the fucking cold. Anyways, I think it worked. I'm invincible now. Back from Nintendo jail. What? Simply is having a brat summer. We're all, brat summer's almost over, okay? We're entering autoimmune August. No, autoimmune autumn, not August. August is over. We're entering sensitivity September. Autoimmune autumn. Can't wait. We're all nail polish bottles from the wall. I'm a winter glitter from 2021. How about you? That's a good one. Like tag yourself. Which one are you? Are you Essie? Are you a fake gel polish? You did a Japanese bathhouse like Sophia. I went to Iceland and did hot, cold, and sugar scrub version. Yeah. Didn't know Nordic spas existed. Yeah, they really like spas, I guess. Or just like relaxing and being at peace and in harmony. Cold slate is the cold plunge shade. Yeah. Have done something similar at a Korean spa. Okay, so it's not just a Nordic thing, I guess, but for whatever reason in Canada, I've noticed a lot of Norwegian, Scandinavian inspired spas. Like there's the Scandinavie, that's why I'm probably not pronouncing it correctly, the one I went to in Collingwood. But then close to Ottawa / Quebec, there's the Nordic spa, or Spa Nordique, because it's in Quebec. And that's really popular. Maybe some people in general Ontario or Quebec have heard of like the Spa Nordique. Like that's the big one that people go to. So it's literally called after Norway. As a Norwegian, I would never. Really? You, oh, okay, I don't know. Maybe we're just making it up then. Okay, have you ever done the Nordic spa cycle? Most people haven't, okay. I do see in the chat though that there's other like countries that are saying, maybe it's basically the same principle or similar, that maybe I could open that up, but interesting, yeah. Spa Nordique is great. It's good, but it's too busy. You have to go like during the week, but even then it's still too busy because everyone works for the government, so they can just take the day off. It was not that busy when we went. It was a Friday in Collingwood, and there's no one in Collingwood. There's like probably 2 people in chat from Collingwood. So let me start unpacking and I can tell you more. Menchie is just gonna sit behind me in my chair here. I'll make you see. There's my baby. Did you miss me? I missed her so much. I love you. Good girl. Yeah. Oh, she's purring. Okay. Yesterday was my birthday. Happy birthday. I treated myself to a 12 polish hot chocolate order. Can't wait to get my order. That's so exciting. Happy birthday. I feel like Friday isn't a spa day either. Well, in Collingwood, no one's there. Like, I'm convinced there's just like no people who live there because it's so not busy and everything is closed. Everything closes at 9 and things don't open until 11 a.m. Maybe they've adopted the like European way of life, but it's like very opposite of what I'm used to. So me and Jen were up at like 7 and like, why is nothing open? All the coffee shops that were recommended to us were just closed. And we look at the time and it says they open at 10 or 11 and it's Friday and Saturday. And I'm just like, what do people do? They just sleep in until 10 every day. Ben would love it there. It's like the boomer town. It's like a retirement town, I think. I didn't see many like 30-year-olds. I was like, where are all the young people? So yeah, even the lobby bar, like at the place we were staying, closed at 9. So very interesting. Anyone who lives in Collingwood, how old are you? Are you 62? I'm just being annoying. I'm sure there's 30-year-olds there. It just was a very different experience than Ottawa, where I could easily find things like a boutique coffee shop open at 7 or 8 and wasn't limited to just Starbucks. Starbucks was open at 7, so we went to Starbucks at 7. But like, I wanted to try one of the local coffee shops, you know, but they didn't open for like 3 hours. Happy birthday to your grandmother. Thank you, Jenna. 95 is so special. It is, yeah. She's a wild one. You're 82, okay. Do you live in Collingwood? Reminds me of Pittsburgh. Don't go to Collingwood. It was actually a really nice town and the spa was only 9 minutes from downtown. It's off season, so they just changed their hours. But like, I can't imagine that. Ottawa doesn't change their coffee shop hours because it's September. Toronto doesn't change, I mean, Toronto's Toronto, but anyways, that's what I observed about Collingwood. So in case you're from Collingwood, that's what I think. I think it's super cute, but nothing was open. But I like the spa. It's by Blue Mountain. So maybe some Ontarians know Blue Mountain, like ski resorts. It's very close to Blue Mountain. We should start our own town. You would have loved Collingwood. Ben didn't come with me and neither did Jen's partner because it was just too much with like animals and whatever. So me and my sister just went. But Ben would have loved Collingwood. It was such a boomer town. Everyone sleeps in and it was super quaint. And there was a waterfront. We saw a plane take off on the water. Pretty cool. Okay, so where are we, Menchie? Where are we? It's Sunday. I've done so much in the last 3 days. What's happening? We've made great progress over here. So here's the shelf. I'm actually gonna turn my camera over slightly because the chat's in the way. Y'all are in the way. Don't worry, I'll keep Menchie in frame. And I'll go up a bit. Oh, now you have cords. Let me try and move them. Uh-oh. And that one won't reach. Oh, here we go. Oh, nope. That doesn't bother you, right? Okay. There. Now you can see upwards. Menchie. Every boomer I know wakes up at the crack of dawn. Do they? Ben doesn't. Actually, my grandma, who's older than a boomer, definitely wakes up early. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. You can't see Menchie? No. No, I scared her. No, I ruined everything. Okay, that's okay. I kind of need the chair to go like this, to be honest. Sorry, Menchie. We'll cuddle later. All right. I kind of wanted to pull out my shades that I've had for a really long time. So I've had these not Sesh Vite, but just like Sesh ones. I only have 3 of them, I think. I've had these for probably like 10 years. These are by Sesh, but you might know Sesh Vite more, which is a top coat. But they also make some nail polish, but like not really. I don't know if they still make nail polish actually, because these are old. It says Sesh Special Effects Glitter. It's basically a iridescent topper. It's not glitter. This is an iridescent topper. This one's a hollow topper, but like not really. I had this in my tests, I'm pretty sure, right? I can't remember, that was like 10 years ago. Did I miss something? Oh, I did. Manny S. got my Master of Science degree in Aeronautics Engineering, celebrating wearing Bring Me the Teal, Halogen Glow, Fallen Flake, Stay Grounded, Scorched Earth, Fallen Flake. That's an amazing combo, and congrats on that degree. Holy shit. Aeronautics Engineering. So what does that mean? Do you build planes? That's pretty cool. Oh, Menchie went to my other chair. Very cool. Incredible. Oh, I found some unique, weird ones. Okay, I'm gonna find more from the same brand. There's one. I will show you in a second. I know I have more than, I have at least, nope, that's not it. Okay, does anyone remember this? I have these really like niche brands sometimes that I would buy 10, 15 years ago because some blogger said I should try it, but they were really hard to find. And they probably don't exist anymore. This is Ozotique. Does that say Ozotique? Ozotic. Ozempic. No, that would be unfortunate. Ozotique, I'm pretty sure. Ozotic, maybe it's like exotic. I don't remember where they're from. Was it Australian? I feel like some of you might recognize these, but they were like a very small indie brand from 10 years ago. And I have at least these 3, and they could be full coverage, but I remember using them more as like a topper and maybe layering it up. spell it. It's OZOTIC. I'll show you again on the darker one. Just the logo is doing something weird on top of the I, but it's OZOTIC. Not Ozempic. But anyways, I had these and I remember paying way too much for them to get them over to me. But now that I think about it, I'm like, wow, like at least 2 of these are very similar to what we ended up doing with Holo Taco for like Halogen Glow and Polar Princess. The blue one we don't have exactly, but it's similar. It's like basically an iridescent shimmer topper, but this one just have a jelly tint to it. They will make your nails skinny? No. Yeah, I'm not seeing anyone like recognize them unless I missed it. But yeah, very rare, probably don't exist anymore. I do have a lot of brands that I don't think are around anymore, which isn't that uncommon in the indie market, because it's, I think, more of a passion project for some makers. Like they would start something up and maybe after a few years or less, it just wasn't worth it because, I don't know, costs, personal things, having to work a job instead and not having time. I mean, everyone's gonna have a different reason, but those are some of the standard ones that you could probably imagine would make sense to make it difficult to sustain a nail polish brand, especially you know, if you remain in the smaller market and you're not getting those high volume sales, or you don't have the ability to scale up to high volume anyways, even if you were getting high volume sales, then therein lies a challenge. I'm gonna put them up. I'm just kind of collecting the small little ones now out of this box of randos. This is an assorted box. So I found another old brand. Do you guys like the sound of bottles moving? Or do you hate it? I'm trying to find these ones. Oh, here's another one. Okay, here's another niche brand. Yes, you like it. It's very pleasant. Wet sound. Wet. It's glass. What? I hope they're not wet. Okay, here's another one. Old indie brand lore. This is Fnug. Fnug? Whenever I saw this brand name, it always reminded me of FC UK. Like Fakuk. Do you know the clothing brand Fakuk? Fuck spelt just like you switch the U and the C. So when I saw Fnug, I just always thought it was like fuck, even though they're not the same letters. But that's just what Fakuk or French Connection UK, like that brand, clothing brand, did to me in my teen years. It just like embedded that in my brain. So anyways, does anyone know what Fnug is? Again, I got these 10, 15 years ago. Pretty niche. Not sure if they're around today. These two are linear holos. That's a silver and a baby blue. And this, I think, is just like a red metallic. Yeah, red metallic. Those are cute little bottles. They're little shorties. They almost look like minis. It doesn't say how many mils it is. Unless it's under the sticker, which I don't think you can do that in North America. You have to put the claim weight somewhere visible on the bottle. It says it under the sticker, 8.5 mils, so that is small. And it does say made in EU, Fnug, Copenhagen, Denmark. Okay, see, that kind of makes sense why maybe less people have heard of it. Christine, what the hell is Fakuk? You've never heard of French Connection United Kingdom clothes? Look it up. I just say Fakuk because it's the, I don't know how I pronounce it. Little baby bottles. Fnug means flake in Danish. Okay, interesting. Was it in a pack? No, I bought these individually. I'm learning today. Yeah. We're all learning. Oh, here's another one. This one was a pink linear. I probably would have used them on my blog, like back in the day when Simplynailogical.com was being used. Okay, what else? Oh, this is a weird one. Does that exist? Excuse me. I haven't had my tea yet today. Ben, are you getting tea? Oh, here's another Fnug. Okay. Another old indie. When I say old, I just mean to me, like I got it 10, 15 years ago. I don't really recall the years they were, they first began. This is Glitter Days. That's obviously a multi-chrome, kind of like Chameleon Coat, RIP. And this looks like a bronzy linear hollow, plus a little bronze shimmer pigment would be my guess. So again, this one doesn't have much information on the bottom. So I don't know where they're from. Can't remember, but maybe some of you are like, oh, I know that one. They're really pretty. The bottles remind me of Olive and June. I mean, a lot of indies, I don't recall what Olive and June looks like, but a lot of indies use stock bottles, meaning like bottles that are available from a glass manufacturer or stock caps, because that's what's most readily available, and that is probably what is most suitable to their MOQs, like minimum order quantities, because it just doesn't make sense to customize your order, your cap and bottle, if you're not gonna be able to order hundreds of thousands of bottles. Otherwise they're gonna charge you fucking millions of dollars. Well, I'm just exaggerating, but like way too much. So smaller nail polish brands, it makes sense that they would at least start out using stock bottles, meaning you might see some brands, smaller brands, use the same bottle type for that reason, because they didn't have to pay to customize it, and the minimum order quantities might be lower, maybe. That's my guess. I'm not saying like that's what this company did. I'm just like, that's what makes sense to me. Okay, what else? Oh, I remember this one. These guys, I'm sure they closed, because I remember them making an announcement like 6 years ago. Let me find. I have a bunch of discontinued nail polish, now that I think about it. And I don't even mean just my own. Okay, here's at least 4, oh, not that one. See, these guys all use the same bottle, but they're different brands. So you have to look more carefully. Okay, I can't find more right now, but I will. This is a brand that did close. I think they were from, I don't remember where they're from. Someone will know. I think these ones are more known than the others I just showed you. This is Colors by Laro. Laro, which is spelt L-L-A-R-O-W-E. So I have that as like a beige linear hollow. That is, oh, I gotta look at that. That's like a black linear hollow. And this is like a dark blue jelly with silver glitters. Louder, you want more glass? LuLaRoe, no, not LuLaRoe. Oh my God, no. Not LuLaRoe, not an MLM. Is it Welsh? I don't know. Are they from Texas? Because this one's called Black Gold Texas Tea. I have no idea. Oh yeah, I have a couple of those? Okay, see, someone knows who they are. I'm pretty sure they closed. I remember them expressing that like a long time ago. But this is another indie brand, and again, I would buy these like 10 years ago when I was a student. obsessed with holo, trying to find, where can I get a linear holo? Where can I get this? Because it wasn't at the drugstore. Yeah, so that's what I did. Oh look, a random OPI. I Sing in Color. This was the Gwen Stefani burgundy color. I don't know why OPI is in this box, because this is an indie box, but you can go back here. There we go. Love when you find that missing puzzle piece. What's an MLM? Oh yeah, I'm too tired for this. Multi-level marketing pyramid scheme, some people refer to it as. It's where one person says, hey, I'm gonna recruit you, and you're gonna be a business owner, but you're not actually owning anything, and you're gonna spend $5,000 on product, give it to me, and then you're gonna try and sell that product to make it up. So you're just investing in yourself, but are you? Because the people at the top, recruiters of the recruiters of the recruiters, end up making most money, and the people at the bottom end up losing money and paying for it. That's my oversimplification. Especially when the product is not good, which was the allegation for the most part with the leggings. Anyways, the chat's just like, it's a scam. Yeah, okay. But it's a scam doesn't really answer the question, you know? Okay, I'm surprised not many people seem to know the indies I've been pulling, except not LuLaRoe. Fuck, Colors by LaRoe, not LuLaRoe. Let's see, here's another one. I have 3 brands who use the same bottle, so I can't figure them out, but these are not the same brands. Okay, here's one. I can only find 2, but this is Lacquer Lust. No, Lacquer Lust, yes. I thought it said love. We're good. Oh, yeah. Again, an indie that I purchased many years ago, probably 10 to 15. Where'd that come from? Fix that. I spooked Menchie over in the corner. Okay, you're just gonna have to deal with that string. I don't really know what these formulas are. They look like Crellies with a bit of shimmer and glitter. Lacquer, I hardly know her. Yes. Okay. Let's do, there's another Lacquer Lust. Anyone know them? Do they exist? Today? Oh, I have a deep cut, I think. Fuck, I don't know if I remember all the lore. I don't want to say the wrong thing. Okay, I have more than 4. I have like a couple. These were actually sent to me by this indie. It's a French indie. The bottles say Il était un vernis, which translates to there was a nail polish. Hold on, I'll just show you on the lighter one. You can't really read on the darker one. Il était un vernis. And I'm pretty sure this line was started by the blogger Psht. psht, fuck, I don't even know how to pronounce it. But like, it's like PSSS something HIT. Psht, psht. I don't know how to say it. Okay, does that sound familiar? I don't think she blogs anymore, but like 10 years ago, she was a huge nail blogger that took really stunning photos. And I feel like so many nail bloggers at that time looked up to her and her photo style because she used a real DSLR and knew how to actually take pictures. And so it's part of what like made me inspired to like, I want to get into photography so I understand how to photograph polish nicely. Cause like my digital camera was not doing it at the time. Il était vernis, yes, Diana has the correct spelling. Il était, accent aigu. There once was a polish, basically, is the translation. I'm French and I don't know her. Well, just because you're French doesn't mean you would know like a specific nail blogger. It's a very like niche thing. You know, not everyone's gonna know that, but I remember it so well. And I'm pretty sure it was her. I feel like if I'm wrong, I'm so sorry if it was a different blogger. And then I'm like, fuck, I fucked them up. Because there was a lot of good French nail bloggers in terms of their photography. Just saying hello before work. Hello, haven't caught a live in so long. By the way, my sister chose chameleon coat to use from my 100 options when she visited. Don't let her use it, it's gonna run out. Psht, there, exactly, this. Sorry, I said it wrong. I said multiple S's, but it was actually multiple I's. She's literally who got me into nail art. Okay, see, Judy, somebody knows. Most of the indies are deep cuts to me. I only started buying indies about 2 years ago. Oh yeah, these are all no longer in existence for the most part, I believe, I'm pretty sure. Yes, psht, was the best. Now she's a professional photographer, which makes sense. Crazy. Anyway, so I'm pretty sure it was her, unless it was another French blogger, who had started this indie line, Il était vernis. Probably between 5 and 10 years ago, if my estimation is correct. There's another colors. But yeah, she'd actually sent it to me for free. So this was like one of my first, when I started getting PR, I guess. Le PR. Actually, I don't know what PR is in French. I think they just say PR. Nail blogger to photographer pipeline is so real. She is not the owner of Il était vernis. The brand does not exist anymore. Okay, am I wrong? I'm probably wrong. It was a different French blogger. Shit. Thank you, Sarah, for the gifted membership. What constitutes an indie brand? I think different people have different definitions. I actually don't think there's any one universally agreed upon definition. But I think, generally speaking, it probably means small batch, made not in a lab, but made in like, you know, the makers, maybe they rent a space, maybe they make it out of their own house or establishment. Handmade, but like handmade doesn't always mean what you think it does. So I don't know. I also think some people use volume of sales and scope of brand awareness as an indicator of whether you're indie or not. You could argue whether that makes sense to do. But generally, I think it's acceptable that if you're like a very niche brand that not many people have heard of, and you're not doing a high volume of sales, and you haven't put a shit ton into marketing, and you're just keeping it small and cozy, maybe that's indie. But mixed on their own, like, what does that mean? Because a lot of people will outsource filling, including indies, because it's the brand, right? So that alone, I don't think constitutes what is indie. But I don't know. I don't think there's an authority on what is indie, what it's not. This isn't a government classification. It's just a vibe. Claudia, hello Simply. Do you ever inspired from other nail polish brands in creating Holo Taco vibes? I mean, I've obviously over the years, all the stuff that I've painted on my nails and loved, or like, oh, I really like when you mix these two pigments or whatever, you know, then yeah, like you're always gonna get inspiration from different places. I thought it meant individually owned, but then like so many people are an indie, and I don't think that's how people say it. Like, I own the Holo Taco brand by myself. Are we an indie? I don't think that would be fair of me to say, because it's almost like I'm co-opting the vibes of what it is to be indie and applying it to my big business just to sell more, to make you feel cute and cozy about buying indie. But I feel like that would be misleading and misguided. So I've never said Holo Taco's indie, you know? It's the same way people say we're a small business and like they're not. Or I would not think they are, you know what I mean? So no, I don't think Holo Taco's indie. Independently owned, maybe there's a technical definition out there and that's where the word indie came from, but I feel like we've all evolved in our understanding and how we characterize businesses when they call themselves indie, and I just feel like it's no longer really realistic or appropriate to use that label just because you own it. Like, you could be a giant fucking corporation and still be one person owning it. Are you an indie? No. I like the idea of reserving it for like smaller companies that aren't like fucking blowing up in marketing and scaling and whatever. I don't think you're indie once you're doing that, but that's just me. HT is considered boutique by who? I mean, I don't know what that means either. What is boutique? I honestly, to me, all of these words are kind of like a way to market yourself as a brand. So some brands will call themselves, we're boutique, and it's like, that's just how they want the customers to perceive them. It's some of it's just marketing. I don't know. We sell nail polish. There's my branding. I don't know. I just feel like it's trying to paint an image of who's behind the scenes, and you just never really know what's true other than the marketing they accompany that with. So, I don't know. Maybe I overthink it all. I know. Okay, here's another one that I'm finding. But they use the same bottlies. Okay, some people already asked about this one. More like bougie. Who's bougie? That's Chanel. Designer. Okay, this is another indie. I'm pretty sure this one's from, is it Australia? Emily DeMolly. I saw at least one chatter ask if I had some. I do, from like 10 years ago. And again, when I was buying indie polishes, it was always like, give me the holo, give me the multi-chrome bases, give me the interesting reflex. They are still around. Okay, this is brand one of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 2 of 7, 2 of 8 if we count Sesh, which is still around, but maybe not these pigments. 2 of 8 so far are still around of the indies that I've pulled out of this box. And they have the same bottle as this brand, which I just have one of. Peridot? No. Pepper Pot. Oops, I can't read. Pepper Pot? That's kind of cool. It's like a pinky green shimmer. Very cool. The shade name is It's Winston. I don't know where I got this from, to be honest. I might have gotten it from like a retailer that shipped to Canada, but that's a one-off. Britt, are there any local events that you've been to for Truth and Reconciliation Day? They're typically open to everyone to attend. I'm going to a local powwow. I'm not going anywhere else this week or for the next few weeks after I've been out with family and then stuff for the past few weekends. But yeah, that's great if you're going. I think Pepper Pot is still around. All right, well, I got one of them. And let's keep it on the same, There's another Emily. And there's another Il était un vernis. I'm gonna try and do all of those bottle types first because it's easier to eliminate out of my pile here. Actually, let's go back to the square bottle because I have these guys. And this one I do remember because I made videos for them. So I have a better memory. Okay, this was Polished by KPT. Does anyone know if they are still around? So Polished by KPT was one of the first brands that I worked with to make nail polish porn. I spilled out their polish on like a mirror with a black background, and that's where I started developing that aesthetic that people came to know me for when I then incorporated in all the intros of my main channel videos, and other brands started reaching out and being like, oh, can you make nail polish porn for us? And so I kind of had my own style of it where it was like really macro. I learned how to use a DSLR, like a professional camera, and do video with it by then, and was figuring out how to light holo and just make it like really attractive and look really good pouring out of the bottle. So that's when I started. This is one of the first brands that hired me to do that. Not really influencer. I guess I was a UGC content creator before anyone knew what that was, and before people charged a lot to do it, because I did not charge a lot to do it. I mean, for the amount of work and time it was, like, I don't think it was, to be quite honest, but I also was of the mindset that, like, I was just doing this for fun, and honestly, anything and being able to experiment with it was like a learning experience for me, because I didn't really see myself as a professional. I don't think I was at that time, if I'm being honest. Like, was not. But it was a lot of fun, and I liked doing it. How many bottles did the pours take? I tried to do it in one bottle and then just spill half of it and literally put it back in the bottle, which was insane. I should have been requesting, like, hey, I need at least 3 bottles from the brand. Like, that's the least you could do. But like, I didn't. I don't know, I was crazy. I miss the mirror shots. You should do more of those for HT. Well, our amazing content creator, content producer, who films the Holo Taco spilling stuff, she's been really great at taking that off of my plate. So I have someone else doing the spilling for the most part now. I've still done like some yogurt lid spills now and then, here and now and then. But I will say from experience, the mirror shots where it's one bottle at a time spilling are the most time consuming and the biggest cleanup and the hardest to shoot, because you got one shot as it spills out. And if your camera was out of focus or the lighting was like, fuck, no, there's a big like refraction in the middle of the pool, like you have to do it all over again. And those are so hard that it's like, not always worth it to do it for all the shades in terms of like time that you're spending on spilling. It's not the wasted product. Like, obviously we can get our content producer all the bottles she needs, but it's the time that it takes to do that. And I know. So yeah. So we're trying not to like spend too much of her time doing that, and more creative shots too that have like the bottles in a set, like Dark Academia on the steps, right? That doesn't require spilling, but it's still a creative shot that paints a picture of the storytelling alongside a collection launch, and not just things spilling out. But here and there, like, yeah, I do like my little swipes. Or let's get some juicy close-ups. But I can tell you, that is the most nightmare shot of all nail polish shots, is bottles spilling over. That's why no one does it. That's why it's rare. And it's hard to see it done well, right? After I started doing it, I noticed like other brands doing it or other content creators like spilling. And I think people realize like it's not easy. Like it's hard to do. It's hard to keep things steady, keep things stable, keep the light at exactly the same spot. Adding a subtle pan and touch and post. There are like a certain different skill sets required, I think, for the shots to come together. And that's like not me speaking as someone who has professional training, but just doing it for years and realizing like what looks smooth and good and what kind of like gave me a little irk. And I'm just like, oh, I didn't shoot this the best, or like there's a little drip there, or the light's just, it's not hitting right and you can't like Photoshop that because it's a video. It's not easy. Okay, here's more polished by KPT. Again, an indie from 10-ish years ago to me. I don't know when they began, but that I did some of my first paid UGC, user-generated content for. There's another one. I'm just piling them in pockets so that I know how many I have to go up on the shelf. But this is kind of a fun box to have such a like crazy wide mix of different indies, but they're all kind of the same category. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're all like similarly, I don't think many of you know of them, but they were all kind of nail polish lore 10 years ago. Okay, here's another one. Same bottle as KPT. But this one, oops, is serum number 5. Pretty separated, just from sitting in a box. But again, like with any nail polish that has mixing balls in it, which this does. Can you hear it? You shake it up and then use it and you should be good. Some formulas might need more mixing and shaking than others, but. So I'm pretty sure this is a reflective pigment, and I'm pretty sure these are glow-in-the-dark pigments. This one is totally dried up though. Yeah. Oh, should this be in my Can I Repurpose It series? Totally dried up, 100% dried. Look at that. It looks like dried Pepto-Bismol, kind of. Woo! Damn, I forget the smell of dried up nail polish. That one's strong. Would it still work? I don't know. I want to do this though, so it's good that I'm pulling all these out, and I'm gonna find bottles that are like, look like they're unrecoverable. There's a difference between the polishes are like a little thick and then just add some thinner, no big deal. And like this, like it comes out of the brush, you know? The brush comes out of the glob and then it's just stuck. I'm gonna see if I can recover them with nail polish thinner, but not today. That's another day. That's for another stream. Yeah, we're gonna bring them back from the dead or just throw them out, one or the other. Found a pastel rainbow collection box on Menchie, I don't know what that is, with collections include absolutely steel. Yeah, you know, we don't promote third-party sellers that sell HOLO products because we don't authorize any other sellers at the moment to sell HOLO product. I also just don't have the best feelings about resellers because they often exploit the fan base and charge more. Happy if they didn't charge you more, but again, I have no control or oversight in the quality or what is in those bottles once it's out of the HOLO warehouse. Do you want anything from Subway? No, but I want a tea, Ben. Ben, I want a tea. Okay. Ooh, I have a ton of polishes from this next brand, like at least like I think 15 or 20. And I also did paid work for this brand, so I remember it. And they are definitely from Australia. But let me just take a quick pee out the tea I don't have break. I'm just peeing out water. And I will BRB, so don't go anywhere. We're gonna keep chilling and chatting. And share what you did this weekend in the chat. And I will BRB. And I will mute myself so you can't hear me pee. Then. I'm back. Did you guys behave? Did Ben get me tea? He did not. So what are you guys doing this weekend? Working. Ugh, tipsy Canadian. Oh no. So my whole weekend making sure my cat pooped. Lovely. Went to Friends of the Rail Explorers. That's pretty cool. Didn't do jack diddly squat yesterday, but completed a job app. That's doing something. Pee break is a test of patience for me as my dinner just got ready, but I don't want to start eating before somebody gets back. Okay, you can eat now. You can eat. You can eat and I can drink my water while I continue waiting for my tea. Casey, I saw your note. You don't have to timestamp every single brand. I think there's just too many. Sorry, I should have mentioned that before. I think for this is just like lesser known indies or just indies. And I say lesser known because most of chat doesn't know them. Not because people deep into the nail polish lore don't know them. Okay, so the next brand I'm gonna pull, also maybe old to you or me, but they've been around since at least 10-ish years ago, because that's when I remember working with them. So this is Glam Polish, and I believe they are Australian. And I'm pretty sure I started buying them and then they immediately started sending me PR. So I do have at least 2 or 3 collections from them, and they made a lot of holos and glitters, you know, like most indies did. I don't know them. I know this one. Hi, old. Yes, I remember them. Okay, more people remember them, which kind of makes sense, I think. They are 100% still around, hence maybe why people are aware. Okay. So I also did nail porns for them, and I swatched. But I actually can't remember if I got paid for swatching or I just did it on my own, which I definitely did. I swatched on my own and like wasn't charging people. But that's because I was posting it and I did it for my own content, which is still normal. A lot of people choose to swatch because they are making content for their audience, right? You don't have to get paid for every single thing that you put on the internet. I don't get paid for anything I put on Instagram. You know that? They don't pay Canadians. Not many people know this. Good morning. I'm not very knowledgeable on nail polish brands, unfortunately. Honestly, this is not like, this is very deep cut nail blogger era. Like 10 years ago, I think people who were into nail polish would know all of these. If you don't, I'm not surprised. I think maybe that's 3 out of 10 that at least a few people in chat said, yes, I've heard of them before. And like I was saying earlier, that makes a lot of sense to me. There's a lot of indie brands, like small batch passion projects that come and go for a number of reasons. People are like, this business isn't really what I thought it would be. I don't enjoy it anymore. My life circumstances have changed. Inability to scale up or not wanting to scale up and turn it into a bigger business. Career changes, health issues, just switching your passion or your creative interests also. Like sometimes maybe they're just like, I don't want to do this anymore. So there's a lot of reasons, and it makes a lot of sense that I have a lot of these and most of you aren't familiar. I heard they only pay you if you have 1 million subscribers for Canada content. Who, on Instagram? Well, I have like 2 million. Instagram does not pay Canadian content creators for their reels. Neither does TikTok. More glam polish. Has there been more polish brands as online shopping increased, do you think? That's a good question. I don't know. I feel like, okay, first of all, you would have to do an empirical analysis to legit be able to say, like factually, yes, there has been an increase in the DTC, direct-to-consumer internet market since like COVID or whatever. So I don't know. Someone would need to do that study. But anecdotally, I think I've actually seen an increase in direct-to-consumer, which just means we just sell on the internet. It's celebrity brands. That's like, yeah, I think we can all agree with that. And nail polish brands that have had a celebrity face attached to it, whether it's their own brand or just their face. Like we saw a few of them come through, like Harry Styles, MGK, Tyler, the Creator. Who else do we see? There was a couple ladies too. It's escaping my mind. I saw some of that come through, but I don't know if I've seen like an increase in like indie nail polishes coming upon the scene. But I could be wrong, and that's just like my anecdotal guess. Maybe I'm just like not paying attention to that lore as much. But I do think that more generally speaking, there has been a surge in brands that have a face that had a pre-existing audience, like myself. But post-COVID, HOLO THERE started before COVID, by the way. Because A, people see that as highly profitable, obviously. If you use a pre-existing audience, then you have to spend less on marketing, or nothing on marketing. But B, the only brands that could make it, very general sweeping statement, it was easier for brands to make it who had a pre-existing audience post-COVID because the cost of goods and the expenses of product and pigments skyrocketed post-COVID. Shipping skyrocketed. So if you were just like a no-name indie, and I mean that in like a respectful way, you just don't have like a famous audience or a famous person, you didn't have a customer base, how the fuck were you gonna get people to buy your product without marketing? And you're already paying so much on pigments because the cost of goods and shipping went way up in COVID. So the only people who could like make it work and even cover some of the expenses and go into the negative, and even if they had to and afford to do so, were people who were already famous or had the backing funds of, or a venture capitalist random fucking company, or you already had an audience. So that's why I think it makes more sense that maybe there was a disproportionate increase in those types of brands. You're just seeing more of them and less of the smaller batch companies, because like it just doesn't make sense to start a business that way when costs of goods are just like at the most they're ever gonna be. Like that doesn't fucking make any sense. Wait, why is the stream today? Am I in an alternate universe? It's Saturday, what are you talking about? Natasha, got a pedicure and they asked if I wanted a mani, and I showed the nail art I did for Halloween Horror Nights and we're like, oh, never mind. Wait, what? Because you already did your nails, so they were like, oh, we don't wanna change those. It's giving cogs. Yeah, okay. Okay, supply chain management worker. All right, we are almost done this box and I still don't have tea. Ben, were you not gonna go? I thought he was going. I was like mentally preparing, so I didn't make my own tea, thinking he was gonna bring one. And now I just look like a cranky bitch. That's another one of these. What % have you unpacked? Guess you went to Subway, yeah. Ben, I would have made my own. Anyone else like can't function because they're just fixating on like where was the tea that I thought I was getting. Okay, anyways, it's okay. You know, Kim, people are dying. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. Just remember that. What % have I unpacked? Well, Holo Taco was a good chunk, so that's a lot. So if I'm counting that, I'd say that's like 30%, maybe 40, just because I have so many of it. Like when I say a lot, I don't mean the number of shades, I mean like a double, a triplicate, etc. But I'd say overall, I probably unpacked like 60%. There's still 40% to go. Like there's a lot, and the rest is all not Holo Taco. What did Ben say? Nothing, because he's paying at the checkout right now. That's right. This is another lacquer list, another KPT. Oh, this is kind of a fun old lore, and I only have one of them. Okay, again, very deep cut. Don't think they're around today, but I could be wrong. This is NFUO. Can anyone tell me how to pronounce that? And look at the cap. It's like a corset with boobies, I think. Is that what that's supposed to be? Yeah, there's the corset. And Nefuo. What is it? NFU 61 from France. Look at France with their fucking, look at these. Fnug. Or wait, that wasn't France, that was Denmark, sorry. My bad. What a bottle, right? The cap is crazy. I'm pretty sure this was like $20, like 10 years ago. I remember these. I found the bottle to be so funny to display. It's very tall too. So this is just a classic silver linear holo, because I probably read on someone's blog that this was an extremely powerful silver linear holo like 15 years ago. So she bought it and I only bought one because I remember thinking that it was wild how expensive these were. I'm sure they were almost $20. It was like $18, which 10, 15 years ago was like, what? Who the fuck is charging that? And then I also probably paid like customs duties and whatever. Definitely different. It's still $20. Well, it should be more now that I think about it, because inflation. But very interesting, deep cut, during my obsession with silver linear hollow. This is a Kiara Sky, which I don't think is indie, but I accidentally put it in there, so I'm gonna throw her up there. All right, then we've got this. I'm pretty sure people classify as indie, but I'm not sure, maybe not. Some people grow out of indie. This is KB Shimmer, which I do have a few of. Some of them I purchased and some of them I'm pretty sure were sent to me. So they have multi-chromes, glitters. That's a hollow topper, and I have a couple of them.
You want a 6-inch tuna or chicken teriyaki?
They can't hear you unless you yell here.
Did you want a 6-inch tuna or a chicken teriyaki?
I don't want Subway at all.
Do you want a macadamia white chocolate cookie?
No, but I made that as an oat ball and it was better, right? Did you go to Subway?
No.
Oh, so why did you say that?
I was just thinking about it.
Oh, okay, you're just talking shit in the chat. Is Ben okay? Nobody knows. Ben, did you miss me?
I missed you. Come off stream, we can hang out.
You wanna go hang out outside?
End stream, we can go hang out.
Look how much I have left.
Oh,
hey.
Here, we'll finish it.
No, I have.
This is a KRT polish.
KPT.
KPT. Stands for Kirill Kaprizov, personal trainer.
What? Oh yeah, KPT kind of sounds like kinesiology, personal training.
Oh, this is KB Shimmer. They don't exist anymore.
No, I think they do.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, but most of these don't. Do you recognize any of these?
They were named after Taylor Swift's song.
They can't see you. What song?
Make the whole place shimmer.
Uh-huh.
All right, are you done streaming now?
Wait, actually, I have tea on this. I remember. Do you remember?
Were they mean to you?
No.
Okay.
Ben's like, I'm gonna kill him. Okay, I remember reviewing. I was never a serious reviewer, but I remember thinking this was like the ugliest shade ever, like the ugliest combination of glitters, because they were holographic colored glitters with a corally light pink base. And I wrote on my blog that I thought it was like the ugliest combination. And then so many people were so mad at me. And like people continued to talk, oh sorry, I'm going the wrong way. To refer to me as like, oh yeah, that blogger who like shits on indies or something. Cause
It was because of this?
Cause I was, I don't know, I guess partly being funny in my blog where I was like, this is the ugliest color ever. It's like vomit, haha. Like, but I'm like joking, like I don't know. That was the tone I thought I was using. And also, I call my own nail polishes ugly. Is this the ugliest color we've ever made? Hello, not pressed.
Were those the same indies that
know.
wanted to pay you for positive reviews, or?
We're not gonna clarify or say. Anyways, I remember so many nail bloggers like thought I was so disrespectful, terrible human. No one should ever send me nail polish.
I mean, you can be pretty harsh in your.
I didn't think it was harsh.
Sometimes.
I just thought it was like, it was one individual shade. It's subjective, obviously. I thought that was pretty understood.
I mean, this is pretty
hideous.
Not a very nice.
But like sometimes makers make things that are like really fucking weird because it's a talking point. Hello, right? I actually think it's good. It's good logic. It's good interest to generate when you make something that's like so unconventional. It gets people talking, even if they think it's ugly. Some people might like it. And I didn't see it as like an individual feeling hurting. I thought it was more like kind of funny and sarcastic. And anyway, so people were really mad at me. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not that serious either, but I get it, I guess.
You have to think of Christine's like the Joker in the Batman movie.
No, I'm just not. I just didn't take things that seriously. I realized early on, people take it really fucking seriously and were like ready to strangle me. And I was like, I don't know, I'm just being dumb.
Yeah, just Christine's over here being the Wordle turtle.
I'm just being the Wordle turtle. I will make ugly colors too, see? 10 years later, now I'm making fucking ugly colors and calling my own shit ugly sometimes. Because it's funny. Anyways.
All right, what does the duck say?
fruits.
That's right.
What do I win? This? You know, the shade is even called, look, something that to me suggests they have awareness. It says to peach his own. His own? Uh-oh, drama. I'm just joking. But you see my point. Like, if this was intended to be like to peach his own, like everyone has a different shade preference, then that was kind of the point. Anyways, I don't know. I've never spoken to them about this. I didn't think it was a big deal, but people who weren't them thought it was a big deal and trash talked me on the internet, but it's fine. I think I'll be okay. But I like how some of you were like, I remember that, which is very deep cut. Ugly colors are cool, guys. Like, they get people talking. Isn't that the best marketing of all? And I don't think it hurts anyone. It's not the same thing as like drama and like serious abuse allegations, just to give you a hard example, that gets people talking. Like, that's not a good thing. Controversy that is harmful is not a good thing. But like, we're making ugly colors. I don't see that as harmful, but it can be negative in a not harmful way, which gets people talking. So I think there is a difference. Last of the glams. I'll just pick out the rest of my KBs. Hope they forgive me. Oh, I have this one, which is Girly Bits, which I'm pretty sure is a Canadian company. Is that correct? I think I just have this one. This one's kind of cool. It's got linear hollow, but it's also got this like green micro shimmer. That one's pretty. Or maybe it's kind of a multi-chrome. I actually think it's multi-chrome. It's harder to tell when you mix linear hollow with the multi-chrome because it does like cut up the multi-chrome factor a little bit and dulls it slightly and makes it a little more lifted and silver because linear hollow is silver. So sometimes it's hard to tell in the bottle, but I do think that is a multi-chrome. So someone remembers them. They're still around, okay. And they are Canadian? Sounds like a euphemism, maybe. Girly Bits. My sister would probably like that name, hence her naming her golf crew the Clam Bake. Okay, I have another one, which I also think is Australian. You tell me if I'm right, not sure. Can't do their accent well enough, but. This is Femme Fatale, which I'm pretty sure they changed their logo at some point, so that's why that one is just spelled out. And then that's just FF. Femme Fatale, anyone? Still very around. Think they are still around. Okay, some of you know. I think they're Australian, is that correct? Yes, they are Australian. Okay, whoo. So I have a few of theirs. All in the kind of like baby blue, baby pink, some purples, some shifties. I think they were more like they did a bunch of iridescent stuff, like iridescent shimmers, as opposed to like the most obnoxious of holos. More girly things, just girly things. Okay, last but not least from this box I have, does anyone know what this is? I'll give you a hint. I made it. There's no label. What is it? Interesting bottle? Yeah, it's a stock bottle. Starshot Nails, ding, 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 ding. 500 holos, 500 holos, ding, ding, ding. Winner, winner again, y'all. So this is when I mixed 500 of my holographic nail polishes into the bottle. And I did a giveaway where I gave away all the fucking holo polishes in a bottle or whatever I called the giveaway. It was a dumb name, I'm sure. It was a Holo Franken before I think we used the word Franken. It was a long time ago. It was not with Sophia. I did this on my own free will, probably like 2017, 18, 19, one of the others. And I did a giveaway of these because I think I ended up filling like 5 to 10 bottles, but I kept one of them for me. You gave away 8, kept 1. Okay, Gina. Gina remembers. But yeah, guess what color it turned when I mixed 500 indie nail polishes that were holo together? Dark purple. It's so funny because now if I pull Rainbow Flood, which was mixing just seven of our Holo Taco OG bright linear rainbow holos, like look at the color. Coincidence? They're, you know, everything is just similarly like a grayish kind of purple. This one has more larger glitters because I was mixing like holo glitters in it too, so that makes sense. This one was just straight up linear, but it makes this really kind of nice muted grape color. Classic muted grape, deep grape. So this is mine, but I'm keeping it. And I think I'll just like put it beside the indies as kind of a reminder that at one point in my life, I mixed all these girls and boys together and made this. Everything is purple, yep. This is why purple is supreme and Holo Royalty loves purple. And purple remains one of the best-selling nail polishes at Holo Taco. Thank you, Ben, for the tea. I feel so much more at peace now, you know? They're looking so good, the shelves. Okay, I'm gonna do this right now. Let me grab my step stool. Fuck, Ben, did you take the step stool? Hold on, I might be able to procure the shorter one. I'm so glad we emptied a box, look. Oh, this is so satisfying. I'm gonna go put this in the recycling. Okay, I have a baby step stool I can use. It's okay, Ben, don't worry about getting me another one if you're going to. Oh God. Just spilling things, don't mind me. Sorry, Menchie, I woke up my cat. It's just swatch sticks. I just have an extra box of swatch sticks. Okay. I'm sorry if I woke up your cat. I'm going to jail. Okay, yes, just don't break anything, I know. This was me at the concert last night. Oh, I didn't even talk about that. I should talk about that as I put these up. So my sister loves the band Milky Chance. Has anyone ever heard of them? It's not as big as Taylor Swift, but they were playing at an Ottawa music festival called City Folk Fest, which just like puts together a bunch of bands that come. And their opener was Half Moon Run, which I listened to all the time in university when I was writing my thesis. So for me, there's some music that like is so connected to certain periods, and Half Moon Run is so connected to me writing my thesis. I don't know what it was about. It was like indie rock with like instrumental periods of having musical epiphanies, and they're just like going fucking crazy. Stoned? Yeah, okay. Maybe some people saw it like that. Stolen Dance is probably their biggest one, Milky Chance, that people know of. Half Moon Run, it's probably Full Circle, that maybe most people have heard of that one. Anyways, Half Fitting with Dark Academia? Yeah, kind of. So I listened to Half Moon Run all the time in university. So when I saw that they were opening for the band that Jen was like, I really want to go see Milky Chance. And I was like, fuck, well, I actually really want to see Half Moon Run. Then we made sure we drove back 5.5 hours from our family trip just to make it in time for the concert. So it was a long day yesterday. That's where I was yesterday. That's why I wasn't here. But yeah, just a concert in Ottawa. Not, you know, the same caliber as like a Taylor Swift, but it was good. And even though they're like Milky Chance is more like a rockish, rock folk, indie rock folk band, I would say, they ended up turning it into like a wild dance party, which was just crazy, like, and unexpected. And they are from, I didn't know this, but they were explaining it to the crowd. They are from Berlin, Germany. Actually, I don't know if they said Berlin, or maybe they just said they were inspired by Berlin, like EDM trance music. But they're from Germany. And so even though they make like indie rock folky kind of music, it's slightly more low key, their second half of their set was all like EDM, like dance music. And I was pleasantly surprised how they were able to adapt their usual sound to like, all of a sudden it was like fucking EDM beats going on in the background, and there was like fucking lasers, and I was like, what is happening? But I loved it so much because I listen to like EDM trance stuff, you know, when I'm in that dancing kind of mood. So they really were able to keep the crowd like awake. And they were explaining that like, oh, it's our, you know, Berlin nightclub influence that we have coming through in our music that we wanted to bring to the concert, which isn't in their music typically, like if you just like download it. So I thought that was so interesting to like, all of a sudden we're like at a club. Like, what the fuck? There might be some stuff online. I don't think I ended up recording that part because by the time they switched it to a club, I like wasn't using my phone. I was just dancing. Accidentally attended an EDM concert, except I don't think it was like everyone on Molly. It was probably just everyone smoking weed. Typical Ottawa concert outside, yeah. But I had a lot of fun, and I didn't really know what to expect from them because we listened to not EDM, wow, I'm confusing it. We listened to Milky Chance in the car during our 5.5-hour road trip home with my sister. And she's like more the big fan, so she was listening a lot and like telling me, this is a good song. I hope they play this one. So I was like, oh, it's a lot of, you know, kind of low key, it's good, but I can't really picture being at a concert and like not just wanting to like lie on the grass. Like, I don't know, I guess I was like, are people gonna dance? But they danced. They fucking danced. And it was so impressive. And I think the other thing that I found impressive was their voices were actually really good live. And that's not true of some artists, right? Some people just need the synthesizer or whatever. But both Half Moon Run and Milky Chance sounded incredible live. And not just their voices, but the way they were playing the guitar and all their instrumental solos, which were so impressive. Like, one guy was on the harmonica, like doing wild shit, and Ben was impressed because he's played the harmonica, so he understands a bit more. I don't know that much about how difficult it is, but I can at least appreciate the guitarist. Like, holy shit. He played on a ukulele for a little bit, like a little baby one. I was like, is this an apology song? No. That's what I get for trying to hold too many. Sorry, jump scare. Everything is fine. Auto-tune is, yeah, some people just need auto-tune. They did not. Is Stolen Dancer EDM? No, none of their songs are EDM. They are indie, maybe more pop folk, like that one's a little more pop. But they added EDM backing tracks, like beats to it that sounds so familiar, but I couldn't put my finger on it. But like for sure, it's one of the like tracks from Europe that I listen to in my playlist. I just like don't know who does it, like one of the DJs. And they added that to their music. And all of a sudden it was like a club. We went clubbing. Quite a surprise. We lost dancing, but we found dancing. Do you play any instruments? No. Come on, no I don't. Can't afford a break, although I already have one. I played guitar when I was 15, and the only thing I can really say is I knew how to play Blink-182's Damn It. And then I quit because I started liking my nails too much. I never took instruments in school though, if that was your other question. Okay, that's all of these white caps, so now I'm gonna organize them for colors. I don't think, like, I'm not even musically inclined. Come on, guys, you've heard me sing. And you wish you never did again. You wish you could unhear me sing. I just won't have a singing career, but that's okay. That's okay. I'll do nail polish instead. All right. It's so much more satisfying to arrange from a brand when you have like at least 10 to 15. You know what I mean? It's really annoying if you only have like 5 or 6 colors from a brand and you're like, I can't put this in any aesthetically pleasing order. Woo, I forgot that was 2 steps. Hello. All right, finish that. Come on now. Come on now. So I'm gonna put all the brands that have the same bottle together because you can't really read the front of it anyways. What time is it at Canada? Well, Canada's a very big place and I'm pretty sure we have, I don't know how many time zones, but a lot. It could be 12:30, it could be 9:30, it could be 1:30. I don't know. Let's put you up there, you down here. You can go here and you can go here. Yeah. Okay. It's 12:37 where I am, if that was your question. Make sure I have all those square bottles. Oh, there's these ones. There's 6 time zones in Canada. Yeah, see? Canada's very big. Just nobody lives here. Compared to the United States. Doesn't the United States have like 30 times more people? I don't know, someone fact check me. Canada has 36 million, maybe it's 38 million by now, people, right? But the States has like over 300 million, correct? I haven't looked at these numbers in a while. Something like that. However, Canada's landmass is not far off from the States. I don't remember the specifics beyond that, but like Canada's pretty big, but just nobody lives here because we have a lot of less habitable space towards the north because it's just very cold as we get further from the equator. Is Canada a country? 386 million people in the States, okay. A lot of Canada is just blank land. Yeah, we got mass. We got land mass. It's huge. Yeah. Maybe that's why some Americans think Canada's not real. Why? Because there's no one who lives here? Or because they like never went to school to learn about Canadian geography and understand why less people don't live, or why less people live in the northern parts of Canada because of the inhabitability. Wow, I can write it, but I can't say it. Girl, let's go back to school. Yeah, even my words are frozen, okay? It's the tundra. Uninhabitable. Yeah, but I was looking for the other word where it's like inhabitability. Like, whatever, fuck off. And there are people who live in the north, specifically indigenous groups, more likely. But it is still less desirable, generally speaking, for people to want to move there. So the people who live there tend to have been born there, and resources are very challenging up there because of the climate, because of just like less shit, less industry, less infrastructure existing up there in the first place. So it's very challenging for people who are born there and to, you know, to live there. And also cost of living is way more expensive up there. So it's not a location that attracts people to move to, generally speaking. Like, you know, in the way that Americans are like, I'm gonna move out west where it's warm or whatever. Yeah, no, that's, or whatever. Where do people want to move? To Texas, because low taxes and it's warm and there's space and I can get a house for cheaper. Yeah, you can't move to northern land in Canada and expect those things. That's not gonna happen there. So that's why it just doesn't really get that, it doesn't get populated. What's the biggest city in Canada? Is it Toronto? It is. I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but Toronto is definitely the New York of Canada. But like the New York of Canada, it's not the capital. Ottawa is the capital. Ottawa equals Washington. Toronto equals New York. I was born in the Greater Toronto area, and then I moved to Ottawa because I hate people. No, I came here for school, and then I stayed. I like it here. It's quite quaint. It's cutesy. It's very demure in Ottawa. Much more mindful. I'm not even just saying that. Toronto is a little chaotic for my tastes, but it's also extremely varied. And I could say that, and like you could be talking about Oakville or Markham, and they could be entirely different experiences because the Toronto area is so varied and changes depending on how deep in you go or what neighborhood we're talking about. Is there an equivalent of Florida in Canada? No, because it's not hot anywhere. It's not hot anywhere for longer than like a few months in the summer. Unless you mean something else by that. I don't know. Do you mean where are our Republicans? Is that what you mean? Do you mean where are our Trump supporters? Even though we're Canadian? I think most people would say out west, like in Alberta, which is another province. But that's very general. I think Ontario, where I live, is probably the most progressive, generally speaking, if you had to do a survey. But again, it depends. There's also smaller townships in Ontario that we drove through, where I saw signage. We went through like really small towns. This is maybe kind of interesting to people, because I also told you this story when I went to the States and we drove through small towns like outside of Pennsylvania, or I don't remember where we were driving when we drove to New Jersey that one time. But we drove through a bunch of small towns very north of the 401. So like 401 is like our biggest highway in Ontario. And then you could go way up and drive through a bunch of small towns. So when we did that, we noticed like there was a bunch of not a bunch. Occasionally there was a sign on someone's front lawn that was clearly more conservative leaning and like a political statement that was either anti-liberal or pro-conservative that I just find interesting to note, because it's not what I see. Oh, there's Bill Clinton's in the chat, welcome. So yeah, I would see like support for a conservative political candidate and like their slogans or something, like randomly posted on some person's lawn in a small town that we were driving through, which makes sense because small towns, if you look at statistics, are more likely to lean conservative or Republican. Republican equals conservative, generally speaking, although our conservative is less Republican than America's Republican, to be clear. There's a number of socioeconomic factors that contribute to why small towns tend to lean more conservative. There's a lot of things that definitely explain it when you like unpack and contextualize it all. I don't think I want to give that class right now, but yeah. And it doesn't mean everyone from a small town is going to lean that way. A lot of people actually see their friends and family leaning that way, but then either move away, go to school, visit the internet, see other points of view, and actually decide to have the opposing viewpoint because of what they've seen in their personal sociological experience, right? So it can do two things. It can either kind of keep you in your own like chamber of like, this is what we all think, you're gonna think it too, and then you just agree because that's what you've come to know. Or you realize that there's another line of thinking out there and you actually get turned off of how you were raised in your small town. So that was just to exemplify that not everyone in a small town automatically is conservative. I'm sure many of you were born in a small town or currently live in a small town and you're like, I am not conservative, thank you. But it is what explains, generally speaking, why most people, why there's that discrepancy if you did like a huge generalization just data-wise. If y'all met my family, you'd be like, how do you exist? Yeah. I mean, if you're like in your 30s, I mean, I guess you could be younger too, because I was trying to think about this generationally. Like, everyone knows someone, or in their own family, or has a friend or someone from their town who like has a really racist grandparent, at minimum. Maybe you have a racist brother, depending on where you live, right? But like some people, like you just, some of this dies out generationally, and there's some people's minds you just can't change. It's not gonna happen, especially when they've aged into it and grown up in that way, and they're just never gonna change. I will say my grandmother, the 95-year-old, is so progressive for her time. And she didn't just change her mind in the last like 10 to 20 years. She was always this way. which is kind of wild because she was such an outcast. She was telling me more about it this weekend. So she's from a family where there's a bunch of boys, but her father sent all of the girls to university, which was, nobody did that. So my grandmother's 95. She went to university for occupational therapy, I think. But like, women didn't go to university. Someone do the math. I don't know what decade I'm talking about, but 40s, 50s, 60s? No, I can't do math. But her father, who should have been sexist just based on the era he lived in, was like, all my girls are gonna go to university, which no one fucking did that. That's crazy. So she went. And she did end up meeting like a doctor and marrying a doctor who was ultimately more educated than her and made more money than her, whatever. So they did end up in that traditional dichotomy, I guess, of a family. But no, she and her siblings, and yeah, it was absolutely crazy. So because of that, she grew up with different views than all of her colleagues, all of her peers. Like, they thought my family was fucking weird. I'm like, ew, what are they doing? Why are they wasting their money? Girls don't belong here. Which, like, we can't even picture that era, right? So I do think that that gave my grandmother such a, like, the way she was raised, like, good job on my great-grandfather, who I think I met, and then he died very quickly because he was like 8 million years old. But like, I don't really remember because I was a baby. But isn't that crazy? So yeah. Yeah, and she would tell me, like, you know, I was there when like women could finally vote. And my father was sending us to university, which no one did. So shouts out to great-grandfather. And so as a result, she is very progressive for a 95-year-old. Now, that's not to say she's perfect. You know, I do think I've also detected other isms, and I'm just like, I don't know if you should put it that way, Grandma. But I also understand, you know, when you're that old, first of all, you're not gonna relearn sentences or expressions. It's very difficult. And second of all, you are always a product of your environment and socialization. So it's harder to some extent to hold like off the cusp things against someone. And you, especially when it's a family member, you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, and then maybe you have a conversation about it and just like, okay, try and unpack that a little bit. So I'm not saying she's fucking perfect and should write a fucking book about feminism, no. But I think that she is like incredible for a woman of her time, you know what I mean? Is that the grandfather with the scholarship? Yes, it is. Yes, it is, which kind of makes sense. Actually, or does that make sense? Because a man who's successful in his degrees and teachings and university might want to gatekeep women out of it, like in the fucking 50s I'm talking about. I could see that, but he believed in education for himself and women. Unheard of. What? Women go to school? So as a result, she was very supportive of my sister and I going to school, which was not weird. You know, by the time I was of university age, it didn't matter, you know. Everyone was going to school. At least if you, in my life experience, for those who lived in a major city in Canada, it was pretty much like, yep, we all go to school. It doesn't matter if you're man or not. It's the millennial age. You know, all millennials go to school or die. But she was very supportive and supportive financially, which I am very grateful for her assistance and helping me get off the ground, whatever. And she ultimately ended up paying for my tuition, minus the like scholarships and whatever that I got. tuition in Canada is different than tuition in the States. It doesn't cost $50,000 a year to go to school here. I think my tuition was $3,000 a semester. No, it was just under. It was like $2,700 a semester. So say $5,000 a year for a Bachelor of Arts in 2011. I'm assuming it has gone up maybe $1,000 or $2,000. But just for Americans' reference. Some people will pay more if they're going to medical school, whatever, but I was just doing a Bachelor of Arts. And then once you go to grad school here, a lot of programs just pay for you if you get scholarships and grants and bursaries. Of course, depending on the discipline. But I got 2 scholarships in grad school and my teacher's assistant that basically covered school, so I ended up making money. Your tuition was $76,000 a year. Yeah, fucking stupid. Sorry. I'm like, why? Why? Are you getting like a class ratio of like a teacher per 5 students? Like, I don't understand. Why do US citizens not just study in Canada? Because there's a system of class and prestige. This is probably the wrong answer, but from my Canadian perspective that's not really educated on the American tuition system, is like, if you're from the States and you want to go back to the States, you want to do work in a field that requires a degree, you're not going to want to say you have a degree from Canada, because your employer's going to be like, Canada, ew. So it's just like, not that we have a bad education system or that our 4-year Bachelor of Arts, just to give you a really basic example, are bad or not good. Like, that's crazy to think that that's true. There's so many really reputable schools in Canada that constantly like place super high on like those world evaluations where they like rate universities and colleges. But I think just like the American thought process for employers are like, a Canadian school, boo. So I don't know. I think it's part of status symbolism, and they want your Ivy League schools. So cheaper doesn't mean worse, but I think it's symbolic. If you're in Canada though, and your employer's Canadian, they don't look at it that way, generally. Now there are some schools that maybe they do consider more prestigious in Canada, but I don't think it's always correlated to the cost. Maybe that's not true for some medical or law schools, but with the exception of those, if we're just talking like Bachelor of Arts, it doesn't matter as much as it does in the States. So if you want to move to Canada and work here, then yeah, come to Canada and get your degree. Don't waste your money in the States. Our schools, Canada, are losing a ton of money right now with how few international students are coming in compared to how many used to. Yeah, I've heard that too. Come on, international students. I mean, I understand like kind of why, if not other reasons. The cost of travel and fucking moving away from home is also just expensive, generally speaking. But like the reason I just said, like, if no one actually wants a degree from a Canadian university, if they're going back to the States because of some strange symbolic prestige that your employer just invented in their minds that Canadian schools are worse, which is like not true. Then you're gonna do what you think is best for your future, which I understand. But yeah, it's kind of stupid. You're like, I don't know. But what can you do when you live in a shoe? You know what you can do is line up all the bottles perfectly, and they look wonderful. And I'm gonna give you a nice little zoom so you two can see what we've accomplished today. Ready? I'm gonna move up, just give me a sec. Okay, ready? Look, okay. Wow. Okay, so those top 2 shelves, this is what we did today. Now, as I've said before, if you have bottles that are rectangular, I will be putting you on the side. So those kind of top right ones are sideways, just to make more room. But yeah, we did those top 2 shelves are now indie, and then it kind of goes down to drugstore-ish, with maybe one exception. And then more indie boutique, whatever description, some more drugstore, and then designer at the bottom. That's like the Gucci stuff, the Chanel that we unboxed first. Okay, so here's where we're at. I have 3 more shelves above. The middle, I'm still contemplating what to do for Holo Taco. I think I'm gonna build up 2 more shelves and then put other nail polish on top, and then I have yet to touch that side, which I will remove the collection boxes and kind of just do what I did here and build 1 row. 1 column, not a row, a column. Okay, hold on. I'm coming over. So satisfying, A+. Thanks, chat. You like this? Okay. Wow, I put that bag really crooked. Just tried for the first time to water marble and I'm not mad about it. Wow, way to brag and make us all feel bad, Stripin' Mouse. Congratulations. All right, did I miss any of these while I was? Yes, I did. Have you shared your opal recipe? Yes, I've put it on Snapchat and Instagram twice. But it's basically just, it depends what it is. Like, it's basically just like protein powder that you have to like the flavor of. Plus oats, plus maybe some semi-sweet chocolate chips, plus peanut butter powder, plus peanut butter or almond butter, depends what profile you're making, plus Dutch cocoa if you're making chocolate, plus pumpkin seeds, plus hemp seeds, plus golden brown flax, potentially, just a little bit, plus salt, just a little bit, plus coconut flakes, plus, plus whatever I feel like putting in, plus a little bit of oat milk to make it like moist, and then I mix them all together, and honey, maybe. Diane, hi Chris, hope you had fun hanging out with Jen and your family. Can't wait to pick up Dark Academia collection with your B-Day polishes. Ooh, my birthday's coming soon. Yeah, I gotta get to work on those. Uh-oh. That's what I really should have been doing today, but you know, here we are. So yeah, on that note, thank you for reminding me of the work I have to do because I've been away this weekend. And now I'm home feeling regenerated from my Nordic spa experience and too much family. So I'm ready for no family for like, you know, a little bit of time. So with that, I'm gonna let you go for the rest of the day so you can continue to be productive or not, or just relax, drink your tea, stay hydrated. I got some work to do, and I like to do a lot of my work on Sunday before Monday hits. I'm one of those weirdos. Well, like, I know, the nature of my job is different such that it makes sense that I do that, but I do like to like get a bunch of stuff done and then Monday morning just be able to be like, here. But I didn't have much time this weekend because I was away. So that's what I'm gonna do after maybe a little brekkie with Ben. All right, so thank you to the mods, thank you to the Menchie gang. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Stream TBD. I do want to go back to gaming, but I was waiting to see if like one of the big games I wanted to play, like Life is Strange, was gonna be out yet, but it's not till October. So I gotta find something else to tide us over. But I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. I'll see you Wednesday for whatever it is. And thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for unpacking. This was part 8 of Infinity. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.